Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, did you know that some of the in-your-pocket change could be worth a fortune? Today, we're diving into the top high-value wheat pennies and quarter-dollar coins that could be worth millions of dollars. Stick around to see if you have one of these rare coins hiding in your collection. First up, the 1962 Lincoln cent is part of the famous Lincoln series that began in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. The design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, featured a profile of President Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. The 1962 penny falls within a period where the US Mint was producing millions of pennies annually. Despite the large mintage numbers, there are still examples of these pennies that are prized by collectors today, especially when they come with a specific mint mark or in certain conditions. The 1962 penny with a D mint mark, minted in Denver, holds special appeal for collectors due to the city's significant role in coin production. The 1962 Lincoln penny with D mint mark saw a substantial mintage of approximately 1,552,404,000 coins. With such a high mintage, one might assume that these pennies would be relevant. However, even a coin with this high mintage can still be valuable, depending on its condition and rarity factors. A dirty coin, such as a 1962 penny in poor condition, typically would not hold significant value compared to well-preserved specimens. However, in the context of auction markets, even coins in less than ideal condition can sometimes fetch high prices. This is especially true for collectors seeking to complete sets or those focusing on acquiring coins with specific mint marks, years, or those with unique characteristics. In today's auction market, even a dirty 1962 penny with D mint mark can fetch anywhere from $37,500, depending on the specific damage or where it has endured. The price may seem modest, but for collectors of late 20th century American coins, every piece contributes to the full historical narrative. As the years go by, even these coins, once viewed as commonplace, begin to appreciate in value, especially when compared to their originally produced price. The 1962 Lincoln cent retained the familiar design of the earlier Lincoln series. On the obverse, you'll see President Lincoln's profile facing right, with the words Liberty to the left and the year of issue 1962 to the right above Lincoln's head. The motto "In God We Trust" is inscribed. The most interesting feature of the 1962 penny, even in its dirty condition, is the D mint mark. It's subtly located to the right of the date, below the number 2. This mint mark indicates the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is an important detail for collectors. Although the 1962 penny with the D mint mark is not particularly known for errors, collectors still hunt for coins that have unique flaws or unusual characteristics. A dirty condition could come from years of circulation, but some collectors might actually value a coin that shows unique wear patterns or oxidation marks. This could include odd toning or discoloration that makes the coin stand out. Additionally, collectors of wheat pennies, those with the wheat ears on the reverse, are drawn to any variations in the coins that could be tied to particular years, mint marks, or design changes. So even a coin that might be viewed as damaged or dirty could have significant collector interest based on its rarity and condition. Next up, the 1985 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and AP mint mark, despite being in dirty condition, holds significant value. This coin, while not necessarily as rare as the 1980 with the AP era, still offers a wealth of interest for collectors and investors alike due to its historical context, and by 1985, the US Mint had been producing quarters for over 50 years, and the country was firmly in the midst of modern coinage production. The 1980s were a time of economic transition, with inflation and changing political dynamics influencing coin designs and production. The Washington Quarter series continued to be one of the most popular and enduring designs, but the 1985 coin, in particular, holds some special nuances that set. In 1985, the design of the Washington Quarter remained largely the same, featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. However, the significance of this coin lies in its mintage figures and the fact that some of the 1985 quarters were minted in particularly high numbers, especially those carrying the AP mint. Much like other Washington quarters, the 1985 issue carries Flanagan's portrait of George Washington on the obverse. Below Washington's image, you'll find the year 1985 and the word liberty along the top edge of the coin. On the reverse side, the heraldic eagle holds an olive branch, and the words United States of America's and Pluribus Unum surround it, with $quarter inscribed at the bottom. Despite the mintage of over 500 million coins, this coin holds strong interest in the market due to its relatively low availability in certain grades. Coins in dirty condition, like the one featured here, can still be quite valuable to collectors who are looking for these rare pieces to add to their collections. The dirt and tarnish on the coin actually add a layer of character to it, which many collectors appreciate for its authentic appearance. While a coin in uncirculated condition might fetch thousands of dollars, a coin in circulated but dirty condition, such as the one we are examining today, still commands a market price of around $43,000. The value is generally lower for dirty coins, but the unique charm of such a coin can attract those who are more interested in acquiring historical pieces rather than pristine specimens. Collectors are particularly interested in the 1985 Washington quarter because it represents the final years before the mint began to change certain aspects of coin production, especially with the introduction of new designs and altered compositions in the late 1980s and 1990s. As with any coin in less than ideal condition, the value of this piece can fluctuate depending on the demand in the auction market. However, the market for the 1985 P-Mint mark, even in its dirty condition, is growing steadily as more collectors turn their attention to this particular series. While coins in pristine condition have a premium, those with unique characteristics, even in worn or dirty states, still hold immense value to the right collector. This coin, with its historical and collectible appeal, remains a significant piece in modern US coinage. Next up, the 1966 penny is a standout for collectors because it was issued at a time when the United States was in the midst of a monumental shift in coinage design and production. The early 1960s marked the final years of the wheat penny design, and the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial reverse began in 1959. This transition in design reflected a deepening sense of respect for President Lincoln's legacy and was aimed at highlighting his connection to the nation's history. The 1966 penny was minted during a period when coin collecting was starting to become more of a mainstream hobby, leading to an increased interest in the preservation and collection of these coins. The 1966 Lincoln penny, minted without a mint mark, saw a total production of approximately 1.4 billion coins. The absence of a mint mark means this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which historically has been one of the largest coin production facilities in the United States. While the 1966 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities, collectors have always been interested in acquiring these coins, particularly in circulated condition, because these pennies are generally more accessible than rarer coins from earlier years. Their market value in circulated condition is relatively modest. However, it's important to note that certain factors such as the coin's unique large date style can influence its market price. In today's market, a 1966 Lincoln penny in circulated condition can command anywhere from $50,000 in auction houses or online marketplaces, with the price rising for coins in better than average condition or those with additional characteristics. While not necessarily rare, this penny's consistent popularity among collectors contributes to its steady, moderate value. Like the rest of the Lincoln pennies produced during this era, the 1966 cent features the same basic design, Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The most prominent feature is the large date that appears on the coin. This variation in the design was part of a subtle shift in coin production during the mid-1960s. The reverse design, showing the Lincoln Memorial, was created by Frank Gasparro and became an iconic symbol of the nation's respect for President Lincoln. The design features the memorial building with a detailed depiction of the steps leading up to the columns, and the words E pluribus unum and United States of America are inscribed above and below the memorial, respectively. The lack of a mint mark further classifies this coin as one from the Philadelphia Mint, an important aspect for collectors looking to complete their collections with specific mint marks or issues. Collectors of the 1966 Lincoln penny are often interested in identifying coins with unique characteristics or imperfections. Some errors, such as double die strikes or unusual toning, can increase the coin's value. However, because the 1966 penny is often considered a more common find, it typically does not command as high a price unless there is an identifiable error or a pristine example is discovered. Despite this, the 1966 large-date penny still maintains a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its position in the history of the Lincoln cent series. The fact that it marks the transition away from the wheat design makes it a notable example for those looking to collect specific years in the series. Next up coin we're going to discuss is the incredibly rare and valuable 1980 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a P-era mint mark. Now, most people may overlook this coin due to its appearance at first glance, but it has a fascinating history and a remarkable rarity that makes it one of the most sought-after pieces in US numismatics. To understand the rarity and value of this coin, let's take a brief look at the history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 in honor of George Washington's 200th birthday. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse with a heraldic eagle on the reverse. Over the years, there have been many variations, including the Bicentennial series in 1976, but the 1980 series has a unique place in collectors' hearts due to the AP mint mark era. 1980 marked the beginning of a critical transition for the US Mint. The Philadelphia Mint, which had been minting coins without a mint mark for years, began using the P mint mark on certain coins, starting with the Lincoln penny. However, during the production of the 1980 Washington quarter, a batch was mistakenly struck with the AP mint mark error, making it a significant piece in US numismatic history. On the obverse of the coin, you'll see the iconic portrait of George Washington, facing left. The lettering around the portrait reads Liberty at the top, with the year 1980 below. The reverse showcases an eagle in mid-flight, perched atop an olive branch with its wings spread wide. The motto of Pluribus Unums is inscribed above, while United States of America and quarter dollars are featured below the eagle. Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin so valuable? The P mint mark error comes from a production mistake at the Philadelphia Mint, which was supposed to strike these coins without any mint mark. However, some of these 1980 quarters were erroneously struck with the AP mint mark, making them incredibly rare. It's estimated that only a very small number of these error coins were released into circulation, and because they were mixed in with regular production, many have been lost or damaged over time. As for mintage, the 1980 Washington quarter had a general mintage of over 500 million coins. However, only a handful of these quarters carry the AP error, making them far more valuable and sought after by collectors. In today's auction market, a 1980 Washington quarter with the AP mint mark error can fetch thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. Even in circulated condition, these coins can command anywhere from $256,000 or more. Coins that are graded in higher conditions, such as MS-63 or Mrs-65, have been known to sell for significantly higher amounts, sometimes reaching up to $50,000 or beyond. Collectors are drawn to this coin not just for its rarity, but because it represents an error in the minting process, something that can make a seemingly ordinary coin extremely valuable. The allure of error coins, especially those tied to historical mints and minting errors, is immense. Collectors love the idea of owning a piece of history that was made by mistake, and the fact that this coin is linked to one of the largest mints in the world makes it even more special. Next up, the 1970 Lincoln cent is a coin of great interest to collectors, especially when it comes with the large date variety and a D mint mark. While it may not be immediately clear why this coin stands out, there's a fascinating backstory and reasons behind its market value. The Lincoln cent, originally designed by Victor David Brenner, has been a mainstay in American coinage since its introduction in 1909. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, has been immortalized on this coin for over. The 1970 cent marks a period in U.S. history that saw massive changes. Post-WEV America was dealing with inflation and a rising cost of living, which had an impact on the country's coinage. The U.S. Mint started producing coins at a higher volume to meet the growing demand. However, what made 1970 unique was the transition between two different types of date styles on the Lincoln cent, the small date and large date varieties. The 1970 Lincoln cent design remained consistent with previous years, showcasing Lincoln's portrait on the obverse designed by Brenner and the reverse featuring the traditional wheat ears. However, the distinguishing feature of the large date variety lies in the design of the date itself. The 7 and 0 in the year were significantly larger than those of the small date variety, leading to a noticeable visual difference. This change sparked confusion, with collectors initially unsure of how to classify the coins. The presence of the D-Mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, adding another layer of specificity to its history. The 1970 Lincoln cent with the large date and D-Mint mark is far rarer than the small date counterpart, making it a significant find in any collection. While the mintage numbers are high for these coins, it's the condition that drives their market value. A coin in dirty condition can still hold substantial value, but its price will generally be lower compared to those in better condition. Despite being in a dirty condition, this particular coin remains valuable because of its rarity and demand among collectors. In today's market, these coins can fetch around $10,000 in lower grades, but can climb significantly in value when they are in better, more preserved conditions. One of the most exciting aspects of this coin is that collectors are constantly on the lookout for any potential errors. Although the 1970 Lincoln cent doesn't have any major striking errors, minor variations in the font, such as the date's positioning or the alignment of the mint mark, can make a coin particularly valuable. Collectors of the Lincoln cent series are especially interested in these small differences, and errors like double dies can make this coin even more valuable, reaching prices upwards of $68,000 or more depending on the severity of. As a result, even in dirty condition, the 1970 Lincoln cent with a D-Mint mark is still highly desirable. Many collectors enjoy hunting for these coins because of their unique characteristics and the mystery surrounding the coin's production process. Next up, the Bicentennial of the United States in 1976 marked a momentous occasion, celebrating 200 years of American independence. To honor this significant anniversary, the U.S. Mint produced a special series of coins, including the Bicentennial quarter dollar. Unlike other years, the reverse of the Bicentennial quarter featured a new design, a drummer boy symbolizing the role of the military in the formation of the United States. The Bicentennial quarter was part of a broader initiative to commemorate the nation's independence, alongside other coins like the Eisenhower dollar and the Bicentennial half dollar, released in 1975 and 1976. These coins were issued in both circulating and proof versions. The Bicentennial series was designed to draw attention to America's heritage while offering a fresh take on familiar coin designs. The 1976 Bicentennial quarter features a distinct reverse design by Jack L.R. depicting a colonial drummer boy. This design is a break from the traditional eagle reverse on the Washington quarter. The obverse of the coin remains unchanged, featuring the traditional portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan. The word Liberty arcs across the top, and the coin is inscribed with "In God We Trust" and the date 1976, marking the Bicentennial celebration. The D-era mint mark refers to a rare variety of the Bicentennial quarter, where the mint mark is placed incorrectly. Most quarters from this series were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the D-Mint mark denoting production at the Denver Mint. However, some of the 1976 quarters were struck with an error in which the mint mark appears doubled, misaligned, or otherwise improperly placed. The Bicentennial quarter was minted in the hundreds of millions across various versions. The standard circulation version, which includes both the D and P mint marks, was produced in substantial numbers, with over 800 million coins minted for circulation. While this large number means that these coins are not generally rare, certain errors, such as the D-era mint mark, make the coin more valuable and desirable to collectors. The value of a 1976 bicentennial quarter with the D-era mint mark in circulated condition varies greatly depending on the specific error type and the condition of the coin. In general, a typical example with a visible error could sell for around $300,000, though certain error types may push this value higher, particularly in auctions where collectors are willing to compete for these rarities. Coins with lamination damage, where a layer of metal does not properly bond during the minting process, also tend to fetch higher prices, sometimes exceeding $323,000 for well-preserved specimens. The popularity of the bicentennial quarter remains strong, and the demand for coins with errors continues to rise. Collectors seeking to complete their error coin collections often bid aggressively at auctions, making this coin a potentially lucrative item. Lamination errors are highly prized by collectors, as they are unique and give the coin an appearance of being imperfect, which only adds to its charm. These errors make the coin stand out in a collection, and they can significantly increase the coin's auction value. The D-mint mark errors are particularly sought after, with certain varieties reaching prices of $400,000 or more, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. Next up, the 2009 Abraham Lincoln Formative Years penny is part of the 4-coin series issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This specific coin, featuring an image of Lincoln's childhood home in Indiana, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. However, what makes this coin even more intriguing is its dirty condition and its lack of a mint mark. Let's dive deeper into this coin's history, design, and the market value it holds today. In 2009, the US Mint released a series of 4 different designs to honor Abraham Lincoln, who was born in a log cabin in Indiana. This series, known as the Lincoln Bicentennial series, commemorated the 200th anniversary of his birth, and each coin highlighted a different period of his life. The Indiana coin depicted the log cabin where Lincoln spent his early childhood, and it was an important part of the series for both its historical significance and the connection to the president's humble beginnings. At the time, the country was still recovering from the 2008 financial crisis, and the US Mint was working under high pressure to produce enough coins for the market. As a result, certain variations began to emerge, particularly when it came to mint marks. Some coins were released without any mint mark, leading to confusion about their origin and an increased interest from collectors. The obverse of the 2009 Lincoln cent in the Indiana design features a classic portrait of Lincoln, but the reverse shows his childhood home in a log cabin surrounded by nature. This design is deeply symbolic of Lincoln's humble beginnings and his rise to become one of the most revered figures in American history. The absence of a mint mark on this coin makes it especially intriguing. In 2009, the mint mark was typically placed on the obverse, but certain coins, especially those minted in Philadelphia, did not have one. This makes the mint markless 2009 Indiana penny a rare and collectible variety. Even though this particular coin is in dirty condition, it still holds value because of its unique characteristics. Like many coins from this period, the 2009 Lincoln cent series was minted in large numbers, making them relatively easy to find in circulation. However, coins without a mint mark are harder to come by, and collectors are especially interested. Coins in dirty condition tend to be less valuable than their pristine counterparts, but unminted mark varieties still hold strong appeal in the market. In today's auction market, the 2009 Indiana penny without a mint mark can command anywhere from $93,000 depending on its overall condition. While the dirty condition doesn't drastically decrease the coin's value, collectors who specialize in the Lincoln Bicentennial series or those looking for rare mint mark errors will still find this coin appealing. Though there are no major errors reported with the 2009 Indiana penny, minor discrepancies like poor strikes or off-center designs can increase the coin's value. In particular, the absence of the mint mark on certain coins minted in Philadelphia makes this coin even more valuable to collectors. Those in dirty condition still generate collector interest due to their rarity and connection to Lincoln's legacy. Next up, the Washington Quarter is one of the most iconic coins in the history of US numismatics, and the 1974 Washington Quarter is no exception. However, there is a specific variation of this coin that stands out for its rarity and exceptional value. The 1974 Washington Quarter with the large date and without a mint mark in fine condition. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. The design was created by John Flanagan, and it has remained relatively unchanged since its inception. Over the years, the quarter has undergone several notable changes, including minting variations, design adjustments, and modifications based on economic factors. The year 1974 marked a time when the US economy was dealing with the impacts of inflation, the oil crisis, and economic stagnation. As a result, coin production was adjusted in order to meet the demands of a changing economy. Although the design of the Washington Quarter remained the same, the 1974 production introduced a subtle yet important variation in the date style, leading to the large date coin. The Washington Quarter features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse, with the inscription Liberty above and In God We Trust to the left. On the reverse, you'll see an eagle perched on an olive branch, with the inscriptions United States of America e pluribus unum and the denomination quarter dollar. The large date refers to a specific minting characteristic, where the numbers in the year 1974 are noticeably larger compared to the standard small date variety. This subtle difference was a result of the mint adjusting their die stamps to accommodate wear. Though the difference is slight, it is incredibly important in the world of coin collecting. For collectors, the large date variation is highly sought after due to its distinctiveness. The 1974 Washington Quarter was minted in large quantities, with over 250 million coins produced in total. However, despite the large mintage, the 1974 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is a rare find. Most of the 1974 quarters were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, but some were struck at other facilities. Interestingly, the 1974 coins struck in Philadelphia are typically found without a mint mark, which adds a layer of intrigue for collectors. The absence of the mint mark, in this case, adds rarity and is a factor in determining its market value. In fine condition, the 1974 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is worth significantly more than a typical quarter of the same year. The value for a fine condition specimen typically starts at $50,000, depending on the coin's grade, with some auction results reaching upwards of $100,000 for coins in better than average fine condition. However, if this coin is well maintained and possesses additional desirable features, such as exceptional strike quality or unique toning, its value can increase substantially. The collector interest in this coin is also fueled by its connection to the Washington Quarter series, one of the most beloved US coins. In addition, the growing interest in rarer mintage years, particularly those from the 1970s, has driven demand for the 1974 large date quarter without a mint mark. This has led to increasing values, especially at auctions where collectors and investors eagerly compete for the coin. As with many coins, errors can play a role in elevating their value. The 1974 Washington Quarter has seen its share of minting mistakes, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, and other abnormalities. Coins with such errors can fetch much higher prices, sometimes in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the nature of the error. Moreover, the absence of a mint mark itself is considered unusual in certain cases, adding another layer of rarity and appeal to collectors who specialize in error coins or those looking for distinct pieces for their Washington Quarter collections. The 1974 Washington Quarter large date without a mint mark in fine condition remains one of the most sought-after coins in US numismatics. Its historical significance, combined with its rarity and the intrigue surrounding its minting process, make it a prized possession among collectors. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or a new collector, this coin is a must-have for anyone serious about building a comprehensive and valuable collection. Next up, the 1980 Lincoln cent marks an important point in US coinage history. By this time, the US Mint had already been producing pennies for nearly 100 years with the iconic Abraham Lincoln design, which was first introduced in 1909. The cent had gone through numerous changes, but by 1980 it had settled into the design that we know today, a legacy of both President Lincoln's image and the spirit of early 20th century American coinage. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, there was a growing trend of inflation and rising commodity prices. As a result, the US Mint was under pressure to produce more coins efficiently. Despite this, the 1980 penny stands as a strong example of how a simple coin, like the Lincoln cent, can carry both historical and collectible value far beyond its intended use. The 1980 cent saw relatively high production levels, but there's still significant interest in the variations of mint marks, such as the D mint mark for coins produced in Denver. The mintage for the 1980 Lincoln cent was substantial, with more than 7 billion coins produced that year between the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. While the Philadelphia version was produced without a mint mark, the Denver coin bore the D mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. The massive production numbers mean that most of these coins are still circulating, and finding one in fine condition or better is increasingly rare. In terms of market value, the 1980 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark in fine condition holds a special place in the auction market. While it's not among the rarest US coins, its value can fluctuate based on demand. In fine condition, which means the coin exhibits moderate wear, but is still clearly identifiable with Lincoln's image, it can fetch anywhere from $44,000. However, pristine specimens in higher grades like Miss 67 or higher can command up to $78,000 at auction, depending on the specific auction house and market conditions at the time. The 1980 Lincoln cent follows the standard design introduced by Victor David Brenner in 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with his iconic profile facing right. The reverse showcases the traditional Lincoln memorial, which was introduced in 1959. The 1980 coin does not include any notable design changes, but it did have a slight adjustment in terms of the size and clarity of the mint mark due to improved minting technology. Error coins also add to the intrigue of the 1980 Lincoln cent. Common errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks, which can significantly increase the coin's value. An error coin, like a double die obverse, which happens when the die is improperly aligned, could bring in hundreds of dollars if discovered. There is a growing demand for error coins from the 1980s, particularly those with rare mint marks or manufacturing flaws. Coins like the 1980 Lincoln cent are especially attractive to collectors because they are relatively affordable, widely available in circulation, but also have the potential to feature a mistake that could elevate their value. Collectors look for high-grade examples, especially those in uncirculated MS or proof condition. These coins are particularly valued for their eye appeal and can be a great addition to any collection. For anyone interested in assembling a set of Lincoln cents, the 1980s coins serve as key pieces that showcase the history and development of US coinage. Next up, we have another highly collectible and valuable Washington quarter, the 1982 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark error, found in fine condition. By the early 1980s, the United States had entered a period of economic recovery following the stagflation of the late 1970s. The 1982 Washington quarter was produced as part of the standard annual release, and during this time, the US Mint was making a significant push to retool and modernize its coin production processes. It was an era where attention to detail and accuracy in minting was becoming more important than ever, though errors continued to slip through the cracks. The 1982 Washington quarter was minted primarily at the Denver Mint, which is where the D mint mark originates. However, what sets this coin apart is an error that occurred during the minting process, an issue that is rare but sought after in the world of coin collecting. Just like its predecessors, the 1982 Washington quarter features George Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The coin was part of a long-running design that had been in circulation for decades, Yet the large date variation that appeared in 1982 was notable for its difference in size compared to earlier years. It's essential to note that the large date coins from 1982 were generally produced to replace earlier dies that had become worn. The D-mint mark error refers to a variation where the D-mint mark is improperly placed or doubled on certain coins from this year. This error is relatively rare, as it was a result of the die being improperly aligned during the striking process, which led to an incorrectly placed or duplicated mint mark. The 1982 Washington quarter had a significant mintage, with the Denver Mint producing millions of these coins. However, the presence of the D-mint mark error makes these coins unique and valuable. The error itself is a subtle one, which is why most casual collectors might overlook it. As with many error coins, the rarer the occurrence, the higher the demand and value. The market value for the 1982 Washington quarter with D-mint mark error varies depending on the severity of the error and the overall condition of the coin. In fine condition, these coins can fetch between $20,000, with some auctions driving the price even higher for examples in exceptional quality. The rarity of the error has increased interest in this coin among collectors, making it a desirable piece for those who collect error coins or are looking to add an intriguing variation to their Washington quarter series. The D-mint mark error is particularly fascinating because it represents the combination of human error and mechanical failure, a story that is appealing to collectors. As more collectors focus on these error coins, the value of this piece continues to appreciate. The primary appeal of this coin is the D-mint mark error. In addition to this, collectors may seek out other variations from the 1982 year, such as double dies or misaligned strikes. These additional factors add layers of intrigue and value, making the 1982 Washington quarter with D-mint mark error a treasure for anyone serious about collecting US currency. The 1982 Washington quarter dollar with D-mint mark error is a remarkable coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Its rarity, combined with its error status, makes it a highly valuable piece in today's auction market. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting, this coin offers an exciting opportunity to add a rare piece of US numismatic history to your collection. Next up, the 1976 Lincoln cent falls in the middle of a pivotal decade for American coinage. In 1976, the United States was celebrating the Bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. While the Bicentennial quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins were receiving much of the attention, the 1976 Lincoln cent maintained its role as a staple in American currency. The coin features the same Abraham Lincoln design that had been in place since 1909. However, the 1976 cent is part of a series of coins that were minted during a time of economic uncertainty. The mint was under pressure to produce vast amounts of coins to combat inflation and rising costs. A 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike the D-mint mark coins, these coins can often be found in dirty, well-worn condition due to the high number of coins in circulation. Although most of these coins are not highly valuable due to their worn state, there is a certain appeal in owning a black, dirty example, particularly if the dirt or discoloration is uniform and does not obscure the features of the coin too much. The mintage of the 1976 Lincoln cent was enormous, with over 4 billion coins produced across the three mints. This large mintage makes it relatively easy to find a 1976 Lincoln cent, but finding one in good or fine condition is more difficult, especially those without a mint mark. In dirty or black condition, this coin holds minimal intrinsic value as it is highly circulated, but it can still have collector interest depending on the market. Coins in dirty condition typically don't command much in auctions, but some collectors are particularly interested in coins with unique patinas or coloring, which could be considered artifacts of a bygone era. The 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark and in black, dirty condition can usually be found in the $8,000 range for common examples. However, coins that show a unique toning pattern may be sought after by collectors who specialize in toned coins and could fetch anywhere from $20,000. As with most Lincoln cents, the 1976 Lincoln cent features the classic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Since no significant changes were made in the design of the penny in 1976, it follows the familiar structure introduced in earlier years. In terms of errors, a 1976 Lincoln cent could include off-center strikes, die cracks, or other mistakes, but they are rarer in this series. Still, collectors will often pay a premium for a double die obverse, which is an error that occurs when the die that strikes the coin has been misaligned. The 1976 Lincoln cent is not particularly valuable in its standard condition. However, it holds a special place for collectors interested in toned coins, error coins, or coins from significant years in American history. The bicentennial year adds a layer of historical significance that can elevate interest in certain examples, particularly those that have unique visual features. For many collectors, the appeal of the 1976 Lincoln cent is not just about its value in monetary terms, but its connection to the broader story of the United States during the bicentennial celebrations. Dirty or blackened coins can often evoke a sense of nostalgia for those looking to collect relics from that particular time. Next up, the 1970 Washington quarter dollar with D mint mark in lamination damage. Condition is considered one of the most unique and valuable error coins in the world of numismatics. Before we delve into its current market value, let's explore the historical context of this coin and why it has become such an interesting and rare find for collectors. The Washington quarter, first minted in 1932, was designed by John Flanagan to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. The design of the coin remained relatively unchanged for decades, and it was a staple in everyday transactions throughout much of the 20th century. However, the 1970 issue marked an interesting time for the coin series, as it was a period of high minting activity with several notable errors surfacing, such as the lamination issue. Lamination damage is a type of error in which a thin layer of metal flakes or peels off from the coin's surface. This can happen during the minting process when the metal strip used to strike the coin is not properly prepared or when air bubbles form in the metal during its manufacture. Lamination errors are often seen as cosmetic defects, but are highly prized by collectors, especially when they occur on coins with historical significance like the Washington quarter. For the 1970 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, the lamination error is particularly noteworthy. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, where the U.S. Mint was responsible for producing a significant portion of the nation's coinage during the late 20th century. The error itself gives the coin a unique aesthetic, distorting the face of George Washington or parts of the eagle on the reverse side, which makes each coin one of a kind. The mintage of the 1970 Washington quarter dollar with D mint mark was around 60 million coins. While this was a standard mintage for the era, the presence of the lamination error makes this coin incredibly rare. Only a small fraction of the 60 million coins produced featured the lamination damage, making the error coin a highly sought-after collector's item. In terms of market value, a 1970 Washington quarter with a lamination error can fetch anywhere from $62,000 in auction, depending on the severity of the damage and the overall condition of the coin. The coin in fine to very fine condition could command even higher prices, especially if the lamination error is particularly prominent or if the coin is graded by a reputable organization such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or the Professional Coin Grading Service. Collectors are drawn to error coins like this because they represent a unique piece of American numismatic history. Lamination errors, although not the most common type of error, hold a particular allure for those seeking to complete error-based collections or find rare and unusual coins to invest in. The rarity of the 1970 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in lamination damage condition only adds to its desirability among collectors who specialize in error coins. The Washington quarter series is already one of the most popular among American coin collectors, thanks to its long history and iconic design. The 1970 Washington quarter with the lamination error adds another layer of intrigue to this already beloved series. Era coins are often seen as an opportunity for collectors to acquire something that is not only rare, but also different from the rest of the series. The imperfections or anomalies present on these coins make them stand out, and that is exactly what makes this particular coin so valuable in today's auction market. Whether you're a seasoned era coin enthusiast or a novice just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, the 1970 Washington quarter with the D-Mint mark and lamination era is a coin that demands attention. Its historical significance, rarity, and market value make it an exciting piece to track in auctions or consider adding to your collection. Next up, we have the 1981 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent, which features a large date and a distinctive D-Mint mark. But there's more to this coin than just its year and mint mark. It stands out due to its unique appearance, specifically its blackened, dirty condition. While this might sound less than ideal for some, for certain collectors, the dirty and aged look of a coin like this can add to its appeal, as it might suggest a coin that has withstood the test of time and environmental conditions. The 1981 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing series of 1 cent coins that have featured Abraham Lincoln since 1909. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and Lincoln's portrait has remained the most enduring symbol of American currency. However, the 1981 coin, which is minted with the D-Mint mark, represents a time when the US economy was facing inflationary pressures. The late 1970s and early 1980s were marked by economic turbulence, with high interest rates and a growing national debt, which had a significant impact on coin production and circulation. Produced in Denver, the 1981 Lincoln cent with the D-Mint mark was part of a massive mintage. In fact, over 7.2 billion pennies were produced that year, making it relatively easy to find in circulation. However, what makes certain examples valuable is their condition and unique characteristics. Like this blackened, dirty coin, it's important to note that dirt or discoloration on a coin like this may not be the result of the usual wear and tear seen with normal circulation. Instead, it could be due to exposure to specific environmental factors, which is what makes it an interesting anomaly for collectors. Coins in less than perfect condition generally aren't worth much more than face value, but this particular 1981 Lincoln penny has been able to maintain significant collector interest due to its dirty, blackened appearance. While these coins typically sell for anywhere from $83,000 depending on their specific condition and appeal, a heavily worn or unique example like this, one can sometimes fetch up to $92,000 or even more if it's particularly rare or sought after. Condition plays a key role, but if there's a specific error or unusual feature, the value can climb significantly. Like all Lincoln pennies, the 1981 version features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor Brenner. On the reverse, you'll find the traditional 1 cent inscription surrounded by a simple wheat ear design. This design is commonly known as the wheat penny design, but with the 1981 coin, this design was replaced in later years by the Lincoln Memorial, though the iconic figure of Lincoln remained central. The large date format is another characteristic feature of this coin. Although the 1981 Lincoln penny is not widely known for any major errors, it can still attract interest from collectors because of the age of the coin and its potential for minting anomalies. For example, some pennies from this era have been found with double dies or other slight imperfections that can add value. The blackened or dirty appearance of this coin is not an error per se, but for some, it might suggest a coin that has been preserved under unique circumstances, making it a bit of a mystery. Collectors of modern coins, in particular, are drawn to such unusual variants as they offer a fresh perspective on a well-known design. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or someone new to the hobby, the 1981 Lincoln penny with the D-Mint mark is a fascinating coin. Its blackened, dirty condition makes it stand out from the rest, adding an extra layer of appeal to collectors who appreciate unique pieces. If you come across one of these coins in your collection, don't forget to check it closely. It could have a higher value than you'd expect. First up, the 1966 Washington quarter remains one of the most interesting due to its large date and the mystery surrounding its minting. The 1966 quarter, produced in high numbers, might seem like a regular issue, but certain rare versions of it can fetch staggering amounts at auction. The 1966 Washington quarter was produced during a period of high inflation and significant coin shortages, which would later impact its mintage numbers. Coins from the 1960s, particularly quarters, were often heavily circulated. However, the 1966 coin, especially the large date version, carries with it a unique historical significance that makes it a collector's dream. The design of the 1966 Washington quarter follows the traditional style, featuring a portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan on the obverse. The reverse shows an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows. This simple but striking design was intended to symbolize the strength and unity of the United States. The large date feature of the 1966 coin refers to the noticeable difference in size between the numbers of the date compared to earlier years. Some collectors consider this a subtle design change, but it is one that adds rarity to this particular year. Furthermore, the lack of a mint mark on many of the 1966 Washington quarters adds to the mystery. Coins without mint marks were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time was producing the majority of the nation's coinage. In total, approximately 80 million 1966 Washington quarters were minted. However, these quarters were heavily circulated, and most were in less than ideal condition by the time collectors began to take notice of their rare features. While this high mintage may suggest that the 1966 quarter should be of lower value, its unique characteristics, including the large date and the absence of mint marks, have sparked significant collector interest. In today's auction market, the value of a 1966 Washington quarter with the large date and no mint mark in circulated fine condition can vary significantly depending on its exact condition, and coins in fine condition can fetch prices ranging from $100,000 depending on the auction and the bidder's interest. If the coin is in an even higher grade, the value can shoot up to several thousands of dollars. With error versions of the coin and limited availability, these values can reach impressive figures for high-quality examples. Collectors appreciate the 1966 Washington quarter not just for its relative rarity, but also for its historical significance during a tumultuous time in the nation's economic landscape. The price on these rare coins continues to climb as demand grows among those looking to complete their collections. Collectors of Washington quarters are particularly drawn to the 1966 large date without mint mark because of its rarity. This variety stands out because there are few coins from this year in pristine condition, and the market is interested in acquiring them in any condition. In addition, there have been a few instances where errors in the minting process, such as misalignments and double strikes, have been discovered, further increasing the coin's market value. These errors, though rare, make for an even more desirable coin, attracting collectors and investors alike. Next up, we have the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent coin, which is notable for its fine condition and lack of a mint mark. Coins from 1973 are fairly common, but this particular example, which has no mint mark and is in excellent condition, is a star. In this section, we'll break down why this particular coin is valued in today's market and what makes it so special. The 1973 Lincoln penny was minted at a time of great economic change in the United States. The country had just gone through the turbulent 1960s and early 1970s, marked by inflation and the end of the post-World War. By 1973, the US was facing challenges related to rising oil prices, a soaring national debt, and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. As the US mint produced billions of pennies to meet demand, the 1973 Lincoln cent was among them, but coins in fine condition, like the one we are discussing today, are much less common. Produced in Philadelphia in 1973, the 1973 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is a rare find. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint during this period were typically produced in large quantities to accommodate daily. The 1973 mintage itself was over 4 billion coins. However, unlike coins with mint marks from Denver or San Francisco, those minted in Philadelphia only display the date and the portrait of Lincoln, making them slightly more valuable to collectors looking for a no-mint mark variant. It's these small differences that drive up their value. At first glance, A 1973 Lincoln penny in fine condition might seem like just another penny in the box, but for collectors, it's much more than that. A coin in fine condition can range in value from $10,000 depending on its specific condition, any errors it may have, and overall demand in the market. However, some particularly well-preserved examples or those with unique characteristics may fetch higher values, sometimes up to $25,000 or more at. Just like other Lincoln pennies, the 1973 version features Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait on the obverse. The reverse features a simple, elegant design with the words 1 cent surrounded by 2 wheat stalks, symbolizing the agricultural roots of the United States. While the coin is relatively simple in its design, the fine condition and the lack of a mint mark add to its intrigue. And although there are no major minting errors associated with the 1973 Lincoln penny, it is still a coin that has caught the interest of collectors due to its age and the fact that many examples in circulation today are worn and damaged. Any coin in fine condition, especially one without a mint mark, is considered valuable because it represents an example of a well-preserved piece of history. If you have a 1973 penny without a mint mark in your collection, you could be holding onto a rare find. To sum up, the 1973 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is a great example of how a seemingly common coin can have significant value depending on its condition and rarity. If you happen to come across one of these coins, make sure to take a closer look. It could be worth more than its face value. Next up, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark and featuring the large date is another fascinating coin in the world of American numismatics. This coin, although part of a large mintage, stands out due to its distinctive features, including its date and the absence of a mint mark, which adds an element of mystery and rarity to its value. The Washington quarter dollars was first issued in 1932 to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. The coin was designed by John Flanagan, and its image of Washington's profile has remained largely unchanged for decades. Over the years, the Washington quarter series has seen various design modifications and mint mark changes, but the 1967 coin is particularly noteworthy for its large date design. The large date on the 1967 coin refers to the way the numbers of the year were struck. During the minting process, the U.S. Mint changed the size of the digits used to engrave the year on the coin. The larger, bolder digits used in 1967 give this coin a distinct look compared to other years in the series. What sets this coin apart, even more, is the fact that it was minted without a mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not place a mint mark on coins produced there during this period. In terms of condition, this particular 1967 Washington quarter is described as being in fine condition. A coin in fine condition will show some wear, but the details of the design, including Washington's profile and the eagle on the reverse side, will still be clearly visible. The large date, combined with the lack of a mint mark, adds to the allure of this coin and contributes to its value in the collector market. The mintage for the 1967 Washington quarter was around 1.5 billion coins, making it one of the more common coins in the series. However, the large date variety, particularly without a mint mark, is considered rarer than the more common small date variety. Because of this, the 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark has garnered attention in the numismatic community, and its market value has steadily increased over time. A 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark in fine condition can fetch anywhere from $79,000 in today's auction market. However, if the coin is in better condition, such as extra fine or even uncirculated, it could be worth much more. Coins with higher grades can range from $82,000, depending on their quality and the specific characteristics of the coin. While the 1967 Washington quarter is not as rare as some other era coins, its unique features, combined with its historical significance and the increased interest in coin collecting, make it a valuable piece for collectors. Those who specialize in Washington quarters or seek to complete their sets often find this coin an important addition to their collection, especially if they are looking for a piece with a distinct variation from the norm. Washington quarters are among the most collected coins in the United States, and the 1967 coin with the large date and no mint mark offers a slight variation that collectors find fascinating. Era collectors, as well as enthusiasts of Washington quarters, are particularly drawn to coins with mint mark anomalies, and the large date variety is one that adds uniqueness to any collection. This coin is highly sought after by those who specialize in mid-20th century American coinage, and its popularity has only grown as more people become aware of its distinctive features. Whether you're looking to add this coin to your existing collection or you're a first-time buyer, the 1967 Washington quarter is an essential piece in the story of American numismatics. Next up, the 1982 Lincoln cent. Particularly the large date variety without a mint mark is a fascinating coin within U.S. numismatics. When the U.S. Mint produced the Lincoln cent in 1982, the year marked the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. The coin was originally minted in a bronze alloy but transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition during the year. As a result, the 1982 series has a diverse range of compositions, and collectors have been particularly interested in distinguishing between the different versions produced. The Lincoln cent is one of the most collected coins in the US and has undergone various design changes since its introduction in 1909. The 1982 Lincoln cent, however, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because it was produced during a pivotal time in US coinage history, with the transition from bronze to copper-plated zinc marking the start of a new era for the coin. The 1982 coin is also notable for its two different date sizes, the small date and large date varieties. The large date variety is particularly valuable among collectors. The coins that feature this variety without a mint mark, especially those in circulated conditions, are highly sought after. The mint mark, which is typically found on coins produced at the Denver or San Francisco mints, is notably absent from the 1982 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, making it a mystery for collectors to uncover. While the mintage numbers for the 1982 Lincoln cent were very high due to its production in large quantities to accommodate the growing US population, the large date variety with no mint mark is one of the rarest and most valuable. The US Mint produced billions of coins that year, but the specific minting process and the error of not marking the coin with a mint mark add an element of intrigue for collectors. In circulated condition, the value of this coin can range widely depending on factors like wear, coloration, and whether it's part of a set with other varieties. Coins in fine or very fine condition may fetch higher prices at auction, often between $30,000, while those in lower circulated grades might be worth thousands of dollars more due to their unique nature. When the coin is graded at higher levels, such as MI64 or MI65, prices can increase dramatically. In these higher grades, auction prices can exceed $100, sometimes reaching up to $200 or more. The key to determining the true market value of the 1982 Lincoln cent lies in its condition and its rarity within the large date, unmarked category. The design of the 1982 Lincoln cent is typical of the Lincoln cent series, with the obverse featuring a bust of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner and the reverse showcasing the iconic memorial design by Frank Gasparo. The design of the coin was unchanged for decades, but the 1982 transition also marked a change in the composition. However, the 1982 large date variety holds interest not just for its historical context, but because of the error in minting that was made in the production of the coins. That the mint mark is often missing from this specific variety, and when this happens, it leads collectors to look for examples that might show subtle signs of error in the die or other unique features like doubling, misstrikes, or other anomalies. Collectors are especially keen on acquiring the 1982 Lincoln cent with the large date and without the mint mark because of the coin's intriguing history and relatively high rarity compared to other common date varieties. The combination of historical importance, potential for high-quality specimens, and a known market demand ensures that this coin will likely continue to appreciate over time. If you enjoyed this video, next up, one of the more unique and lesser-known valuable coins, the 1994 Washington quarter dollar with the D mint mark. Now, You may think that a coin from 1994 wouldn't be particularly rare or valuable, especially in good condition, but you'd be mistaken. The 1994 Washington quarter is part of a series of regular issue coins minted by the United States. Each year, the US Mint produces millions of these quarters, which are then released into circulation for everyday use. However, it's important to note that not all coins minted are created equal. The 1994 quarter was produced in huge numbers, with over 1.1 billion quarters made that year, which at first glance seems like it would make the coin. However, the rarity and value come from specific mint marks, particularly the D mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. The mintage of quarters at the Denver Mint in 1994 was substantial, but coins in good condition are much less common due to the coin's circulation. So, what makes this coin truly rare? The design of the 1994 Washington quarter remains unchanged from the original design created by John Flanagan in 1932. The obverse features a profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States, facing left. This iconic design has been in use for over 90 years and continues to be the symbol of strength and unity for the United States. On the reverse side, you'll see an eagle, wings outstretched, holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and. While most 1994 Washington quarters are not particularly valuable, certain key factors can significantly increase their value. The D Mint mark, in good condition, is one of these factors. Coins from the Denver Mint in 1994, despite their high mintage, tend to have fewer pristine examples in circulation today. Over time, as coins enter circulation and are used by the public, they inevitably get worn and damaged, meaning those that remain in good condition are rare. Additionally, any errors or minting anomalies such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or double strikes can drive up the value of a coin dramatically. While these types of errors are less common with the 1994 Washington quarter, finding one in uncirculated or near mint condition can command a significant premium. In terms of market value, the 1994 Washington quarter with D Mint mark in good condition typically doesn't fetch a huge sum. However, auction prices for coins in better than average condition, such as those graded M65 or higher, can fetch anywhere from $34,000 or more, depending on the exact quality of the coin and any potential errors present. If you happen to find a 1994 Washington quarter in uncirculated or proof-like condition with an error, the coin could potentially be worth thousands of dollars or more at auction. Collectors are drawn to this coin for its historical significance and its role in the long-standing series of Washington quarters. It may not have the same level of demand as earlier, rarer issues, but it certainly has a place in the hearts of collectors who specialize in modern US coins. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned investor, this coin represents a rare opportunity to acquire a piece of US history from the 1990s, especially if you happen to find one in excellent condition. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.